SMW Project X. So, just sitting here reading what Zach Royal had to say. Something caught my eye in this little long, endeavored speech Mr. Zach Royal had to say, and it's something very fact-given, something key to the facts of that time frame, because he said that I was off to the tag division when KXT closed. But see, that was far from the truth, because I think Zach Royal forgets that history, that timeline in SMW, where, yes, I was a part of the tag division with me and Anthony Ellis, but I was never a sole tag team competitor. Zach Royal, do you not remember that time frame was when you could be in the tag division and the singles division at the same time, right? I could compete for whatever I wanted back at that time. So you're asking me, what opportunities did I give you? I gave you the opportunity to come out here against a veteran in the business. I gave you the opportunity to push forward even after taking a loss against me. Yeah, we went to different brands. And at that time, the only way you could travel brands was being a champion or being in the tag division. And the only time I ever stepped foot on your show at that time was in the tag division. Otherwise, I stayed on my brand and did singles comp. So see, there you still had an opportunity to face someone who was still, yes, going into the singles division on the main roster, the same as you in that instance. So Zach, that one caught my eye, because that there shows me that you do not remember the timeline of SMW. You forget that there was a time when you could be in both the tag division and the singles division if you knew how to play your cards, if you knew how to set up your matches, which me being the man I was at that time, I was the one doing everything, setting and booking all of Cartel District's matches for me and Anthony Ellis. Plus, I was doing my own thing while Anthony Ellis was on your show doing his own thing in the singles division. So, Zach Royal, that's where, do you not remember what has happened in SMW for this whole time? You don't remember SMW in its entirety, and you've been here. Zach Royal. Then you go on to say, well, it's not about wins and losses. Oh, trust me, I know. But we're sitting here talking about Supreme or a trip out to Japan, no KXT. Anyways, Jamie, you made the right decision to follow the man I owed everything. You say I made the right decision to follow the man. But did you really? You say you made the right decision to follow the man who you supposedly owed everything in your career to, but let's be honest, you should have owed your career to Nova. Let's just be honest there, Zach. Let's be honest with who really made your career, because it wasn't the man that's not here no more. You can say as much as you want that it was the man, because let's be honest, Nova made him. Nova made the system. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest with it. May have been his thing, but it was Nova's backing that made the system what it was. Now, see, that's where you did not make the right decision following the man, because it was not long when it did not survive. So, Zach Royal, that's where I'm saying you made the wrong decision. You made the wrong call, and that's where differences lie. Now, see, and here I'm reading it, and you're going off on your little curtain call moment that you had no part in making the decision. Everybody in this business has a part in making a decision. You made the decision by deciding that the right choice was to follow suit. You made the decision. Zach, you can come out here and play the innocent victim in this whole thing and say, well, I was just following the guy who made my career. Even though if we go back and look at history, we know it was Nova Vibes who truly made your career, Zach Royal. But see, you're going to come out here and you're going to say differently. But you're already spinning the story. And this is what it is. You can come out here and say, I spun the story on how I did everything to make people look better. But look at Anthony Ellis when I left. Look at what he did after I did what I did. Now, see, that's the difference there, Zach. I have evidential proof of what my decisions did for the other people. What that truth and what that facts of what I did in that moment of me leaving NPR, me leaving Cartel District, me leaving Anthony Ellis did for both of our careers. Where you, the evidence proves you made the wrong decision. The facts of the matter prove you made the wrong decision, Zach Royal. Now, see, it does not matter how much you come out here and try to make it sound so, oh, well, I didn't have any choice in the decision. I followed the man I owed the career between those ropes, and when everything transpired, I was fighting my ass off to survive until it blew up in my face. Well, that's why it blew up in your face, because you did not make the right decision, Zach Royal. Hence why I'm saying it. I have factual evidence that proves my statement when I left. It was a statement I made from the moment I left NPR and the Cartel District and Anthony Ellis, that I was doing it to bring out the best in everybody around in that instance. All my evidence shows the facts there. Ellis went on to become Heart of Platinum champion, a very damn good Heart of Platinum champion. I went on to become a very damn good All-Star champion. Now, we stand here in the same precedence of you. We can look at the evidence of you not making a decision, not standing on morals of who really made your career, Zach Royal, the Royal Powerhouse, the real person who made your career. You turned your back on and followed the so-called maker of your career. And it blew up in your face, which evidence shows you made the wrong decision. So, see, now you're saying you regret. Before you were saying you did not regret anything in that decision. Now you're regretting not taking a second to think about and question what was going on. No, you have never claimed that publicly. This is the first time we're getting public acknowledgement from you that you failed and regret your decision. Because before, you stood on grounds that you went along with it, you were okay with it, you made the decision to follow, and you were standing on that wall. Now you're jumping off that wall, now that everything's blown up in your face. Now you're jumping off that wall to jump into another wall and try to stand on that wall. Where, see, that's the difference between me and you, Zach. I stand on moral ground on every decision I make. And I stay and I say the exact same thing I say from the very beginning till now when I left NPR. When I left Anthony Ellis. You, on the other hand, have now flipped in the public eye after I've dropped the facts, after I do all that. So you continue to say that. Now you say you never had issue with grinding on keep. I've never once questioned you on that. You've always been that type of person, but I'm just trying to get you to understand the facts of the matter are you don't stand on ground that you don't die on the hill that you fell on. Me, I'm over here on the same wall, same mountaintop, same hilltop that I've been on since that day I left. That the only reason I left was to make sure me and Anthony Ellis survived in this business, to make sure we were the best versions of ourselves, because as a tag team, we were not. We had great moments. We had great stories in our career in the tag division. And see, again, Zach Royal, in the history of that moment, I was never solely a tag team competitor. So you coming off and saying that is so far off the wall. unacknowledgement of what really was happening in SMW, and it's very sad, Zach. I'm very sorry, but I've got to be the fact giver. I have to be the destroyer, James Davenport, who comes out here and destroys your rhetoric in the way that I do best, by stating the facts. See, Zach, that is what I do. You call yourself now part of the foundation. But see, the problem is, to be a foundation, you got to stand on your hilltop and you got to stay there till the time you die. I have never once flipped my story on why I left NPR, on why I left Anthony Ellis, on why I attacked him that fateful night in Cartel District, why I burnt my shed down in the back of Cartel District that I built myself. The only piece that was keeping me tied there, I burnt it to the ground. Now see, I have never once leapt to different hills and tried to change my story. I've stayed on the same path and I said the same thing over and over and over again. Where you, I have evidential proof of you flipping and flopping and doing all that, Zach. At one moment, you did not regret your decision, but now you're saying in this moment you regret your decision on not stopping and thinking and seeing where was this really the best idea? Was this really the best? But see, before you were saying that you never regretted it at all. Now, see, now you're coming out and saying that I'm going to show you why I became the undisputed powerhouse, why I became the last one standing, or why I was. Well, see, technically, if you were truly the last one standing, you would be the last one standing and you would still be having your title. But see, I took that from you. That was the whole goal, you not being champion, Zach. See, that was the whole point of that match. Now, see, the Royal Foundation is still strong. But see, it's not, because you keep flipping and flopping and flipping and flopping. You got to have a strong foundation, Zach Royal. Let me give you a little fact of the matter. To be a strong foundation, you have to have a strong foundation on who you are. Your foundation is not strong. Your foundation is flipping and flopping, because then you realize when somebody who actually knows the facts of SMW, knows the facts of you, can come out here and spit them just fine, you start to turn, you start to twist, you start to not stand on the hill that you were willing to die on all that time. Where I have I've stood here on this same hill saying the same thing since that fateful day that I made a decision and I stuck with my decision and I did what I had to do. Zach Royal. Now see, here's the thing. I am the destroyer, James Davenport. I am the one and only NASCAR driver. I am the co-owner of Gold Mine Race Team, and I am Mr. Destruction, King of Chaos, Master of Everything Havoc. I am a member of the Vibes Goons, and I am your problem. So, Mr. Wannabe Problem Solver, Mr. Man who I have to teach the facts of the business that has happened that you seem to forget the details of, but that's okay. That's why I'm here, Zach Royal. I'm here to give everybody the facts of the matter. I am here to be the destroyer, James Davenport, and if I have to destroy your rhetoric with the facts, I just do it. That's who I am, and I will be heading for victory lane.